welcome back to the video class. So on this video we are going to decorate the cover. So as I mentioned before, I have saved these two sheets for the cover and I still don't know what we're gonna use, what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start with the easy part, which is the back cover, and I'm going to be using for that these flowery papers, so we can start dressing up the sides and the back as we think about how we want the cover to look. So I'm going to start by cutting the page 4 of the back. So this is going to be 8 3/4 by 7 3/4. Okay, and I am going to round the corners for all of these, so I apologize in advance for this noise. Okay, and then this one is going to go on the back. Okay, so we're gonna just put this piece right here. Let's add the glue. Okay. Sometimes making the cover of a book, I keep it to the last, because I want to make sure I have enough time to think of ideas and I'm not going to change my mind while I'm in the process of making the pages. But I don't know for this collection, because it's so beautiful, I'm a little bit nervous to work on the cover because I want to make sure it's beautiful, and I kind of have a lot of expectations on myself because it's so pretty, this collection, so it's kind of hard to commit to what we want. But anyway, so now for the sides, we're gonna cut two pieces. This is going to be 8 3/4 by 2 1/4. So I'm gonna do one, and then we can use this here. So 8 3/4 by 2 1/4, and I'm gonna get the side that has more flowers, so like that. Okay, so these two are gonna be the sides. Oops, wrong one. And you will cut the same for the inside book, for the inside of the spine. Okay, so the same size, but we're just gonna take care of the outside for now. Okay, so just cut this and then one more, and let's go ahead and glue these down. So let's bring this back, and so we're gonna glue these. Okay, so let's put one over here, and then we're going to do the other side. Okay, so there we go, and we're gonna put this right there. Okay, so we have that. Then I'm going to do not this side yet, but this one. Okay, and so for that we are going to cut one piece. Maybe I should wait. Oh, see, this is what I mean. I don't know, because if I don't use one for the cover, I can use one for that other side. Okay, so I guess it's time to just commit to something here. So I love how this looks here. So if we kind of do this side here, the kitty and the table, I think it represents the craft room here more than, I mean, they both do, but over here we kind of like don't have a center image, like let's say for the kitty, and the table at the same time. So I'm gonna go for this. All right, so now the other thing is, okay, let's just start. We are going to start. So we're gonna cut these. I'm gonna take out the whites, and I'm gonna cut these at 7¼ Okay, so here we go. I'm actually gonna do 7�3/8. Okay, because I don't want a little white showing. Okay, so there we go. So we have this piece here. So now my other thing is we kind of have these separated in two, right? So this one will go here, and something is gonna go on the top, and I want to make sure I don't cover the main section here with the kitty. So I think if we just start from here down, we should be good to go right there. Okay, so far I think we're making good decisions. So we're gonna cut these. I'm gonna count from the top down. Maybe I'm gonna take out just a little bit here of the top. Okay, so I'm gonna take about 1/2 inch out from the top, and then we are going to cut these at 8�3/4. Okay, so right there. And now let's put this piece right here. Okay, and I'm not gonna glue it yet. I just want to see how that looks. Okay, so we have the little kitty, the table, the chair. Okay, so now up here, let's see. So we can save this cute little image with the puppy. And so what I'm looking for up here is something to create like a second layer. So I'm thinking maybe the windows. The window here will be kind of like a continuation from this window right here. So we can probably do something like that. And I do want to center this window to the window here. So we have this window here, and it won't be exactly center, but at least this side here. Let me take this out. So at least this side here, I want it to kind of be aligned to that, which means that I'm going to start somewhere over here to cut these. Alright, so let's put these to the side, and I'm going to need to take out the white. Okay, and then we're gonna cut. First, I'm just gonna cut the top. So this piece here, it's going to be 3½. Okay, so I'm going to cut first this piece. Okay, so we're gonna do 3¼ Okay, so right there. Okay, and now we have the top of the window, and we have the window here. So we're gonna kind of make it look like it's one window. It almost looks like it's one. I know it's different colors, but we're just gonna go with this. So we're gonna cut over here on the side, and now I'm going to count at 7�3/4. Okay, and then this is going to overlap. So let's place this down. So that is gonna go here. Okay, so then we can put this one over here, and I actually love how this looks. I think we could add here on the center of the window a piece, because you know how we're covering the clock over here. So maybe we can find another round piece, or maybe I don't know if we could take out this clock and then put it on again. maybe we could try doing something like that. I was looking on the, through the images, something that would kind of work. So we have this little piece of what do you call these, like what do you call these, needle cross stitch, I think, right? So let me take this out and see if this will work in there, but I kind of like that clock idea more. So let's see how we can alter this paper a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one out, and this is from the ephemera, or little, what is that called, paper elements. Okay, because it's not really ephemera, it's like little envelopes and tags. Okay, so if we take this one out, and let's place that here for now, and let's say we put that one there, right? So it will look like a nice kind of hanging piece, but I really want the clock, so I'm gonna figure out how to take it out. So let's see, maybe I can use my X-Acto knife. Let's see, I have it here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so maybe I can take my X-Acto knife. Let's put this to the side. Let me bring my little cutter. And I'm gonna try to take that out carefully. Okay, so we're just gonna go like that. And I know we're gonna have a big hole in there, but we can always put something to cover that up. Okay, so let's just keep going. Let's see. So here is this piece, and I took that out with the X-Acto knife, but I'm just gonna clean it up here with the scissors and just clean the edges a little bit. Go like that, and I'm actually going to ink because there's a lot of white around it, and so I just want to ink that. So I'm using Distress ink, and that just makes it look more clean and, not as scrappy. Especially because of the X-Acto knife. Okay, so there we go. Perfect, we have that. And okay, so now I'm gonna keep that on the side. Now to cover the hole that we just created, I'm gonna use this piece here. See, it's like nothing ever happened. So I'm just gonna glue that on top right there. Okay, so let's see, do I want to put it on top or do I want to put it under? Maybe I'll put it on top. Okay, so I'm going to just glue these, and I'm gonna do the same here. Just ink all around this piece. Okay, and we're gonna add glue on the edge so we can place it here. Okay, so that looks like a little needlework there. Okay, now before I forget, I'm going to round the corners here, and I'm also going to add more detail to the page, but for now let's just do this and that. Okay, so then this is gonna go here. Let's see how that is gonna look now. So we're gonna put that there. That's gonna close. This is gonna be glued on top, and then we're gonna put our clock right there. Oh, I love it. Okay, so that's gonna go right here. like that. So okay, I think the top I'm going to glue. Okay, so I'm ready to glue the top piece. Put that right there, and then I can glue this little clock. So I'm just gonna add glue on the top here and place that right there. And you can see a little bit of the border for the other piece, but that just makes it look more 3D, I think. So I like it. Okay, so I'm not gluing this one yet. Okay, actually I think I'm just gonna glue this piece too. Okay, I don't think I'm going to add more, so I'm gonna glue this down. Okay, so we're just gonna go like that. Glue these down. There we go. Okay, so now that's gonna close right there on top, and I'm going to use this piece that we have and maybe cut some of these elements to add more detail to this page. So I'm thinking I can cut first the little puppy, and we can probably put him on the chair. So I'm just gonna cut the puppy by himself and try to collage him on the page. So I'm just gonna go. He's so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna take these here and cut the little ball. And go like that. Oh, he's so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I'm going to actually take out the ball, and I'm just gonna make him sit on the chair. So cute. How can we put him on the chair? Okay. I mean, he's just gonna be sitting on it. It's okay if it's not exact. Because the chair is facing the back. Maybe we can just put it on the side right there. Okay, so I do want to ink a little bit, and so we can place him maybe with a little piece of foam tape or chipboard. So I do have some foam tape, so we're gonna add that, make him kind of stand up a little bit or stand out. Okay, so chipboard, not chipboard, sorry, foam tape. If you don't have foam tape, you can add chipboard. I usually just do chipboard, little leftover pieces to add volume. But I'm just gonna use this here. Okay, so cute. Little puppy. Now if you have, don't have puppies and you have more cats, then you can cut the little kitty and put the kitty on the chair or somewhere. Okay, little puppy is gonna be here. Or maybe should I put him on the floor? No, I think on the chair. Okay, we'll put him on the chair right there. Oh, he's so cute. He looks like my dog when my dog was a puppy. Now my dog is 11 years old, and poor little boy has a little mask growing on his leg, and about a year ago he had a mask growing on his paw, and they almost have to remove his paw, but they didn't. They were able to save it, and they tested that mask, They removed it, and they realized it was not a cancer, it was just a mass. So we were, happy. And now he has another mass growing on his leg. So we recently got it, got a biopsy and got it tested, and it's not a cancer either, but it's just there, So yeah, we're talking to the vet to see what can we do. Obviously everything is expensive, but at least he doesn't seem to be bothered by it or uncomfortable or anything. He's just, normal, like walking and doing his thing. He's eating normal, so it doesn't seem to be bothering him. So for now, I guess we're just gonna wait and see. Okay, I got these elements, and I think I'm gonna add these little planner, stack of planners. Add maybe these somewhere on the floor over here, just to add more crafty elements. And then I'm gonna add some of my foam to add some volume. Okay, so that can go right there. I'm just gonna put it over here somewhere. Now we do have all these little elements that I'm gonna emboss and I'm gonna add also, but honestly, like, this is just so pretty that I don't really think we even need that, to be honest. It'll be fun to emboss and use it to decorate. Okay, and we also have these flowers. So I'm gonna get some of these flowers out. Maybe I'll just get everything out. I don't know if I can take everything out. I'm just gonna try to get some of the flowers out. Okay, there we go. That should be enough. And we can put the flowers either on the top. I'm thinking just kind of going on the side like this. Okay, so we're just gonna put a bunch. I love that it's like a two-tone pink arrangement, and so I'm thinking I'm putting some coming like that. Okay, so like this coming to the side. Some flowers there. I mean, I love when it blends with the paper like that, because it just seems like everything goes together. And then maybe we can probably even do some more on the other side. Some flowers coming like that. It's so cute. So some flowers coming there, some flowers coming here. I think I'm also going to be adding this little kitty on this side, so I'm going to cut maybe around all of these. Okay, so let me start over here. Some of the flowers. Okay, so it can go around. And oh, he's so cute, little kitty over here. Let's go like that. Okay, and I'm just gonna cut around all of this. Okay, so we have something like that. Oh, so cute. Okay, so I'm going to ink again. And then we can add these over here like that, so he'll be sitting on this corner. Maybe I can make this smaller. Maybe just the ribbon. like that. Okay, and we can put him over here. It'd be so cute, kind of like on the side over there, just chilling on the side. That'd be cute, kind of like a little hidden peekaboo little kitty. So I'm gonna also add this foam tape. So every time I come in the craft room, there's always my dog. She follows me everywhere, and there's always a kitty trying to steal a flower. I have two cats that love to come to my craft room just to steal my flowers, you know, so I always have to hide the flowers. And they're so funny because sometimes I find my flowers like in the hallway and I know it was one of the cats, so I bring it back and I put them somewhere like that I think it's hidden, and then I find the same flowers in the hallway again. I used to have one cat that did that, and now we have two that do that. Something about the flowers, and then they like to steal my flowers and then they hide them under the couch. They're so funny. They're so funny. They hide all their little treasures. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one over here. Right there. Another little kitty in the craft room. So cute. Okay, and I think that's it. I think I'm gonna commit to these. We have the main kitty on the table, the little doggy on the chair, the other kitty here, and then we have these flowers that I'm going to glue. So I kind of wanted two flowers on the corners like that. Around the windows we have our clock, and okay, and then after I glue these, I'm going to add the paper for this side. So let's go ahead and glue this. I just glued all these beautiful flowers. I love how this looks on the side of the window, or you know, it's just so pretty. And okay, I'm gonna give this another minute to dry. We're gonna put it on the side, and in the meantime we're gonna use that leftover piece that we have, and this should be about 8.5 and or 8 3/4 maybe, yeah. And then we're gonna cut these at 7 1/4. Okay, and then this is going to be the piece for the inside. So I'm going to round the corners right here, and then I'm gonna open these up. Hopefully my flowers won't fall out. Okay, and this piece we can go ahead and place over here. So perfect size, and we're just gonna take these out and take this out, and we're going to add glue. Okay, so there we go. And we're gonna put these right there. Okay, and then press down. And there we go. So that is gonna be the page when we open the book, and all of these is pretty much ready. So we just need to finish covering up this piece, and then we have the pocket. So I was thinking on using this piece here for the pocket, but first let me back this up on some white cardstock. So this is the piece for the ephemera pieces, and I'm just gonna use a piece of white paper, and I'm gonna glue this down just so we don't see that on the back. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue this here, and that way we can use all of these, and I'm going to cut, well, I can cut this right here, but then I also want to cut this border so it looks nice. So we're gonna just go like that. And then okay, look how pretty that looks. And that is gonna be a little photo mat to put on this pocket here, right? And then we need to add the design paper. So I still have some of these that I don't think that will work for that, but then we also have that sheet here with the flowers, so I think I'm just gonna use that, and I'm gonna measure this. So this is gonna be 5 by 7 right? So 5 by 7, and let's go ahead and cut this piece here. So I think I'm gonna cut this at 6 3/4 by 4 3/4 for the pocket. Okay, and then we can put that right here. Okay, I'm just gonna remove the tape, and I'm going to round this one, and then we're just going to glue this down. Okay, and we're gonna put that there. Okay, and then for the back, we can probably still use that. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this piece here. Okay, so I think the back is gonna be a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna cut this at 7 sorry, and let's do 7 by 4. That should be good. Okay, so 7 by 4, and then these can go right there like that. Okay, put that on the inside of the pocket, and then bring it up. Okay, and then we have this piece here. So remember, here we have the magnet, so we don't want to add too many things over on this side, but you can add more things on the pocket. And then we have the inside there. And okay, so coming back to the cover, I'm going to finish up adding those 2 pieces. So we're gonna need this is going to be, I'm gonna measure this again. Okay, so we're gonna need one at 3 1/4, and one is going to be 2 1/4, and they're gonna be 7 3/4. Okay, so let's see if we have enough. So 3 1/4. Okay, so this one is going to go back here. So let's just remove the tape, and we're just going to round the corners for this piece, and glue this down. Okay, so this is 7 3/4 by 3 1/4, and we're gonna put this up in here. Okay, and press down. Okay, and then I'm going to, this probably won't be, I think it's good enough, so I'm just gonna use that little leftover and glue that here. Okay, so there we go. Right there like that. Okay, so just so it doesn't look so white. Oh, and I love how this looks. Okay, so then let's see what else can we finish here. So I'm thinking these pieces we can, I mean, we have a lot of longer pieces that we can definitely use over on these sides. Maybe one, yeah, maybe I'll add one here. Actually, on this page that opens up like that, we can probably put one of these pieces, so you have something pretty kind of coming out, and then the rest you can do just solid cardstock, and then this will be another little piece to add here too. So let's bring this to the side. So we're gonna cut these pieces at 8 1/2. Okay, so I'm gonna do this here, 8 1/2, and this is about 1 inch here, so I think this one can go over here. So let's put that right there. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this other one, and for this one we just need about something smaller than 1/2 inch. So I'm just gonna cut a small piece here, and we're gonna put that, let's see, over on this side. Okay, so just adding little details to make it look more finished, and then depending on your level of patience, you can add one here on this 1/2 inch gusset there as well, and same thing here. And yeah, oh, and then this piece that I have left, I'm actually going to divide this in two. So this is about 1 1/2, so I'm gonna cut this at 3/4 inches, and I'm gonna have 2 of these, and then we can put these 2 pieces here. So I'm gonna put one over on this side right there, and again you'll put the coordinating color. So I'm gonna be using pink for all the coordinating spaces, places for pictures and things like that. I'm just gonna add this here so you can see the design. When you close the page, you can see a little bit of that. And then same thing on the other side here, so where we have the waterfall, we can put that on the back right there like that. Okay, so then we just have a little bit of the edge So when we close the page, that's what you see. And I'm going to add the glue here. Okay. There we go. And so now we have this. Now you can go ahead and add some of the seam binding on those two sides that we're gonna be using to pull out. So let me cut a piece here. Okay, so we can add that. I just want a little bit coming out. Layer that. And I'm going to add my tape. But you also want to add a piece of paper here so your ribbon doesn't get stuck. Okay, but we're just gonna put that there for now. And then same thing on the other one. I'm gonna cut another piece. And let's add some glue. And put that. More glue. And then a piece of tape. Right there. Okay, and then here when you add your paper, you want your paper to be big enough to go under the belt here, because otherwise it will get stuck. So the paper that we're gonna put in here is going to measure about 5, let's do 5 1/4. Okay, so 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. And maybe I will put something from my 6 by 6. I'm just gonna pick something that's gonna be kind of neutral. Maybe just this one here. That. And then we pick another one like that. Okay, so let's cut these two pieces. So let's just keep this open here for a minute. Let's see if I can cut it. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna cut these at 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and okay, so let's bring these. Remove the tape. Okay, open all of it out, and then we're going to use these. Oh, I don't know if I should use the crochet or these. I'll use this. We're gonna glue this piece. So you wanna place this under that belt. Okay, so we're gonna go under and just center these here. Okay, so press down, and there you go. So now this one is just like a fun little display, and then over here you will put your pictures. And let's do the same over on that side. Take that out. Okay, and then again we're gonna go under this piece and under the belt and just center and bring it out. right there. Okay, so press down, and it's so much easier when you have those little pull tabs. Oh, I just love it. Look at that. And then here will be just the solid cardstock. Okay, so we have that. Let's see. Oh, over here. So over here, let me see. I mean, we have a lot of scraps left over, but let me see if I have a long piece. Okay, so we have these, but that's not big enough. I have that. Let me think. Oh yeah, perfect. We have this other one. That will be perfect here. So we're gonna cut this at 8.5, which it already is, and I'm going to measure what this is. So it's about 2 inches for me, and I want you to measure that because you know it depends on how we glue that. And there we go. So let's cut these at, I'm gonna do 1 3/4, okay, and by 8.5. So let's go back here, and we're just gonna glue this down. Okay, so little by little it starts coming together, and this is the part where I usually either put a movie on or an audiobook on and just finish all those little places. Okay, it's just like the little finishing touches that takes the longest in my opinion, but it just makes the book more special when you kind of look at all the little places here. So I have this leftover piece. This is about 1 inch by 8.5, and I'm gonna place that fits perfect right there. So we're just gonna go ahead and glue these down right here. If you hear snoring, it's my lovely dog. There we go. There you go. And I don't have a lot of long scraps, but if we did, and if I find some, I'll probably add something here also. Like this would be 1/2 inch, so you will cut it a little bit smaller than that. And then we have pockets, so any leftovers like these can be perfect to create little photo areas for your pockets. So I'm just gonna do one here as an example, and I think we're pretty much coming to the end of the making for this book here. So we're gonna make some tags. Like here we have perfect pieces to, oh look, here we have so many more scraps to add on those little places, but I'm going to be making booklet with these. So this is about 8.5, but I'm gonna cut it down to 8 inches. Yeah, so that way it'll fit my let's do 8.25. Okay, so 8.25, and this is about 4 3/4. So I'm going to grab a new piece. So I don't think I have any heavyweight, so I'm going to be using lightweight for the rest, but you can definitely use heavyweight. Okay, so I'm going to cut one piece here. This is going to be 10 by 8.5. Okay, so, and I'm going to score along the 10 inches at 5, and then I'm just gonna fold here along the score lines. I have too many things on my desk right now. Okay, so we're gonna fold along this score line here, and then we're gonna glue this piece right there. Okay, so it's like a little folder right here. Now I also want to use some of my pieces, and I can probably use either that or these here to add a little pull out. So I just need two of the same size. Okay, just to give you an idea, is this one the same? Yeah. So we can go ahead and add that and make this look like a file folder, so we can have, I'm gonna put it on the back because I don't want to cover the kitty, so we can have that coming like that, and this will look like a little file folder. And then you'll do the same on the back. We'll just well, you can leave it like that, that's pretty, or you can put another one on the back right there. And same thing for this, we can put one of these as a little circle tab, right? We can put that right there like that, and then we can put another one here, or I just have another idea. If we make this into a booklet, so let me cut two pieces, and I know I get carried away with this, so you can stop at any point. But so this is 5, so I'm gonna cut two pieces at 5.25 by 8.5. Okay, so something here, 5.25 by 8.5. Okay, and I'm going to just score these at 1/2 inch, and this is like a little extra booklet, not really, you know, optional, I guess we can say, an added on feature, optional, because now I'm full on creating a new booklet project here. So I'm gonna do these 2 hinges, and I'm going to open these up and just glue this on the inside to create pages. Okay, so let's add glue here, and I'm gonna put one, and I'm gonna put the other one on top. Okay, so there you go. So now you have a cute little booklet, and that will close out like that. And then we're gonna add the circles. Okay, and we're gonna cut this in half. Let's take this out. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of eyeball what the half will be. Okay, and so now we have 4 little tabs, and we can glue this here. So I'm gonna add my glue on the edge, and then we can put one right there, right, and then we can put another one over here on the next one. So I can probably put it over here. Let's put this one more in so it looks even to the other one. Okay, so I'm gonna put it more in right there, and then we can do the next one. So on the next sheet, next page, we can add another one here, so I'm gonna say somewhere over there like that. And then the last one on the last page like that. I think it looks cute. So now we have some little tabs, and you can even use this as a little journal or photo mats. And then we're going to glue this on top. Okay, so that is gonna go right there. And there you go. That is gonna be a little booklet, little journal to put more pictures, and then we can even decorate with, you know, just keep it simple and white, but then we can decorate with some of these beautiful pieces. I'm leaving this open so you can tag something in there if you want to. You can use that for a picture or for journal and tag something in. Sorry, the girls are playing, you know, it's a summer break. And there's no more homework. Finally, we can catch up on video games and crafting. So it's gonna be a little loud over here for a little bit. Okay, and so I'm gonna put one. Oh, I guess I only needed one more. Put this right there. And now we have a cute little journal to add more things right there. And then this is going to go, let's bring this back, open that up, open and open. And then when we turn the page on this place here, we can go ahead and, oh, the corner is not, let me glue this down better here. Okay, and that can go on our pockets right here. So you can have it like that, and the little kitty is kind of peeking out. Cute. And I like how that looks here too. Like you have that, and then this whole thing will come out of the pocket. I love it. Okay, so now let's just put this one back. So now we have something for our pockets here. Put that right there like that. Then we have this little journaling card. We can always add more little, oh, I think I like this better than that. Yeah, we can have both. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to use one of my 6x6 pages, and I'm going to cut one piece at 2 1/4. Yeah, let's do 2 1/4 here. Actually, I'm gonna do 2 3/8. Okay, and I'm going to cut 2 of those. Okay, and I need a piece because I'm cutting this section here for the top. So I'm just gonna do one, and then I just need a small little piece so I can basically combine or collage the two here. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this one right here like that. So I'm just gonna pencil mark and cut. Okay, and we're just gonna glue this down. So there you go. I hope that you guys enjoy making this book with me. I hope that you like how this turned out, and I hope that you have fun making your book. I want to thank you so much for being part of the class. Thank you so much for purchasing the kit and for all your love and support to my channel. It really does mean so much. And yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.